The Bissell SpinWave is one of the most popular spinning mops on Amazon. It's also one of the cheapest, which got me thinking, let's test it and see if it's actually any good. We're gonna test it on a variety of stains, but first let's see what you get. Now there's a couple different versions of this, but this is the corded version. It's the 2039. The other versions are actually the same. They come with the same main unit. They just have a different set of cleaning fluids, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now there's also a cordless version, but it's about 40% more expensive, and this is actually twice as popular. And if you want to support our channel, you can use the links down below. Now this one comes with two different sets of pads. You've got this soft version, and then you've got this scrubby version here. And they say this is going to be more useful on perhaps hard floors and maybe with pet messes. And some people say these work really well on dog drool. Now, the version I'm using comes with 2 bottles of this hardwood floor cleaner, and it also comes with a bottle of this sanitizing liquid that you can use in hardwood. There's also different kinds of cleaners that you can get, including a pet cleaner. Now, Bissell says you should use the cleaners that only come from them, but I think it's up to you. I think you could use whatever you want. So attaching the mop pads is pretty simple. You've got this dot in the middle. You basically just fold the mopping pad in half, line up the dot with the screw in the center. These are little Velcro kind of things. You just put it on and you're good to go. You've got this water container. It's pretty easy to fill up. You're gonna fill it up to here with warm water, and then the rest is gonna be up to here with the cleaning fluid. And then you screw the top on. And then we pop it on the mop. So to start it up, you just press this button here, and it's got a sprayer right over here too. I'm gonna press this button, and let's watch the water come out. Let's try it on some red wine. Wow, just one pass and it's completely done. It's much faster than I expected. Okay, this is coffee. Wow, it's just so simple. Let's try it with some dried cocktail sauce. All right, so it takes a little bit more work with the dried cocktail sauce. Let me give it a little more spray. The dried cocktail sauce took a little bit more work. It took a few passes, but ultimately it wasn't very much work for me because all I had to do was just hold on to the SpinWave. You should be able to get under beds pretty easily because this goes almost completely flat parallel to the floor. As long as your bed is no higher than maybe 6, 7 inches, it should be pretty easy to get under there. What I'm learning really quickly is that the big advantage of this is that you don't need to get in your hands and knees, and you actually don't need to apply any pressure at all. I'm just holding it lightly and just letting it glide over the floor. It's kind of simple. You might be wondering how easy or difficult it is to get around little objects like this, like chairs and stuff, but it's actually pretty easy. I just turn my hand a little bit, and the whole thing just rotates really easily, just with a little twist of the wrist. Doesn't take too much work. I guess if your wrists are arthritic, that might be a bit of a problem, but it's pretty easy to move around. You don't really force it, you just kind of let it use its own power and let it float around the chair. Now, one thing you definitely want to do is you want to do your vacuuming first, your sweeping first, because this is just like a regular mopping cycle. You don't want to have a lot of hair and dirt on the floor, which is going to get ground in. You want to get that picked up first and then do your mopping round. Now, compared to some regular old mopping, I think there's a couple of benefits here. First, you don't need to get on your knees. And second, you don't really need to do any scrubbing if you got any ground in dirt. I think the big question is this easier than busting out a mop and bucket and kind of going through that whole rigmarole? I think it's kind of fun. Like, I'm just disinclined to do any regular mopping. I just avoid it. To me, at least, this seems like it's a little bit easier and it dries pretty quickly too. I think the trick is to not use too much water. I think if you got a house where you got a lot of kids or pets, or maybe in a winter area where you get a lot of stuff tracked into the floor that kind of gets dried up, I think this is a pretty good solution. And frankly, I think this is probably a little bit better than regular old mopping because you don't need to get your bucket out. This just seems like a more convenient solution. It's pretty lightweight, and if you like technology, this seems like kind of a cool thing to have around your house. Yes, you get the cordless version that is about 40% more, and you got to charge it. You got a little bit extra stuff to deal with. I think most people who just want to save a few bucks are probably going to get the corded version. The cord is 22 feet long, and when you're done with it, you just wrap it up around these two pieces here like this. And when you're done with the pads, just pop them off, throw them in the washing machine. Now, Bissell says when you purchase their products, they support the Bissell Pet Foundation. My pet is a little bit unruly tonight. Now, from my brief amount of research, they do seem to do a pretty good job. There's another video right over here. You should definitely click that. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.